Hello. Polly's Best for UK here, and welcome to today's game of the day video. Now, today's game is a game I only recently found out was on the SNES, and that's Pinball Fantasies. So I had Pinball Fantasies on the Amiga back in the day, or we did as a family, and yep, this is the sequel. What's going on here? Right, okay, I do apologise about that. There's some sort of issue with the computer. So yeah, we've got sound effects. I like this. Sound effects are the small sounds you hear when the ball hits a target on the table. That's very precise information, isn't it? Title music played during the game, and jingles. Play games with 3 or 5 balls. Use a small angle of tough for an easy game, or a large angle for hard game. So that's comical, isn't it? This, like the way they've written that. I haven't saw that in the original pinball games. But yeah, let's go for Partyland. Let's see how this looks on the SNES, shall we? So like I said, I played this on the Amiga. I've also played the MS-DOS version. Right, so I'm going to shut up a bit so I can listen to the music. Right. Oh, you fuck. Just testing out the controls here. Okay, so yeah. Right, got it. Okay, so yes, it's Pinball Dreams. It seems to be a... for God's sake, I'm not very good at these pinball games. It seems to be a reduced colour palette than the Amiga. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just used to the AGA 1200 version. Or maybe it's actually less colours than the Amiga 500 OCS version. Bloody hell, I'm not very good at this anymore. I used to be alright at this. Oh, come on, really? Right, let's try this again. Have I got any more lives left? Okay, I don't know what this is. Right, there we go. Yes. Okay, so you can press select to quit. I'm just going to try a different table. We'll get into it in a minute. Let's try the Speed Devils one. Now, one thing I have noticed about the game, and also Pinball Dreams on the SNES, which I did test out earlier, is it doesn't all fill in the screen horizontally. The screen has to shift left and right. I don't think that was a thing on the PC or the Amiga. But on the SNES, it has to scroll left and right as well as up and down. See, as the screen shifts over. I don't know if that's something to do with limitations of the resolution of the SNES, or if they've done that on purpose to make for a more authentic pinball experience. I'm not quite sure, actually. Let me know in the comments what if it was a limitation of the SNES compared to the Amiga, or if it's on purpose. So the music does sound very similar to the Amiga original, to be honest. It's a completely different sound architecture on the SNES, but it does sound very similar. I'll show up again. There's an art form of playing a pinball game, and I just don't know what it is. I've always been absolutely rubbish. So let's go on to another table there, and let's see what other tables we've got on this game here. Really quit, and let's have a look at $1 billion game show this time. So the way this controls is you use the left analog, sorry, it's not an analog stick on the SNES. Use the left D-pad to control the left flipper and one of the buttons on the right hand side. Actually, it's any direction, sorry. Any direction on the left side of the pad controls the flippers, left flippers, and any of the buttons, X, Y, A, B, controls the right flippers. There's no shoulder button support on this, it would seem. Which you'd think that would be a more better dynamic for the game using the shoulder buttons, but no, the shoulder buttons just control the tilt. But there's only one shoulder buttons on the SNES controller, isn't there? So yeah, they had to put the tilt somewhere. Right, okay, so yeah, graphics are okay. Like I said earlier in the video, I think it might have a bit reduced colours than the Amiga original. I'm not quite sure, it's hard to tell. It does look a bit like it's less colours, or less detail even, on the tables. So yep, that's that one. So let's go on to the last one here, which is, let's have a look. Stones and Bones, Stones and Bones, yeah. So this is Stones and Bones. Each table has got a different theme to it, of course, to make it more interesting with the terms of logistics of variation in the game mechanic. You do want a bit of variety in a pinball game if you're paying good money for it. I mean, I bet the Amiga version was about a tenner, or maybe even 20 quid back in the day, and the SNES version was probably more like 50 quid, because obviously you're paying for the PCB as well with SNES games. The cartridge, and on the Amiga it just uses cheap to manufacture floppy disks. So what do I think of SNES Pinball? I think it's alright. Sorry, Pinball Fantasies I'm talking about here. I think it's alright. I don't think it's quite as polished as the Amiga original, I don't think. It's got additional sort of interesting menus, but I think the Amiga version is actually better. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me on that or not. And the Amiga 1200 AGA version is definitely a lot more colourful. Can't remember the LCS version that well. There was an LCS version as well, which ran on 500 machines, etc. But yeah, that's SNES. And let me know in the comments if it does scroll left and right on the Amiga, because I don't think it does. I think there might be a limitation of the SNES resolution or something to make the table fit in, perhaps. Or maybe they did that on purpose to make it a more interesting effect, but I don't think it is. I think it's better without the left and right scrolling, to be honest. So I'm rambling on. I'm going to give I keep saying Dreams, Pinball Fantasies on the Super Nintendo a nicer 7 out of 10. It seems okay. I just don't think it's quite as polished as the Amiga or the PC-MS-DOS version for that matter. So sorry for the delay in the video, having a few technical issues as usual. I think I need to have a proper look at this computer. But yep, that's Pinball Fantasies. I'm going to give this one, like I just said, 7 out of 10, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll try and get it on time. So thank you for watching. Have a pleasant rest of your evening on this hot scorcher of a day.